Everybody says they want authenticity.
First things first, let's be our authentic selves.
Every caption, every brand manager, every dating profile. Be yourself. Try it. Be fully unfiltered, inconveniently yourself in a group chat, at work, or on a first date. And watch how fast the room becomes just you, all alone, me, myself, and I, solita. Nobody really wants authenticity. They want the performance of authenticity. Once you see the difference, you can't unsee it.
I've literally sat on the floor crying because my camera just broke. I'm literally just a girl and I just wanted cute beach pics with my digital camera.
Here's what I ate on a plane while having a full panic attack. I'm scared. I'm holding onto the side. My pinky's up. That means I'm really scared. And then the captain announced that we're gonna go through some turbulence, so everyone buckle up. And
That's not vulnerability. That's a genre. It has conventions the same way a sitcom has a laugh track added in. A shaky camera, bad lighting that is ironically and conveniently actually very good lighting. That's not someone being honest with you. That is someone who has gotten very, very good at acting honest. Let's be real for a minute, like truly real. This isn't an internet problem. The internet just industrialized it. People have been performing sincerity since forever. You know the coworker who says,
"I'm just gonna be honest with you,"
and then says something manipulative right after that? You know the acquaintance you have whose worst or most vulnerable moment seems to coincidentally happen at the most flattering angle, with the smoothest glass skin filtered in, and of course, in front of the right audience. That's not anything new. That's just people. Same performance, different stage. What is new is the incentive. In real life, that same performance has an audience of maybe 5 people, right? Low stakes, no viewer count, no likes or comments, no other metrics attached. Online, it gets measured. Every version of authentic gets tested in real time. The version that performs the best is the one that gets repeated. That's not organic, that's artificial. Creators, myself included, let's be honest, we all learn which flavor of being real gets rewarded. The most authentic people you follow are also oftentimes the best actors that you know.
Over the last couple of weeks, I have not been sure where I'm going to live at the end of this month because my roommate said she didn't want to re-sign with me, so I thought I was going to have to move, only for her to come back and say that she was actually going to leave and I would be the one to stay. This was at the beginning of June. Last Monday, she texts me and says she's actually staying instead, and naturally we're of course not re-signing together. Today is Monday, June 15th, and I've heard from the landlord, not her, that she is now leaving once again, and I have 24 hours to find a new roommate to take her place. The brink of losing my housing, and I don't know what to do anymore. Over a month ago, my roommate informed me she didn't want to re-sign with me for very stupid reasons. I've made videos about it. She said that I could stay instead and that she would leave. And then like 2 weeks go by and she changes her mind.
A 30-year-old woman has been having a public meltdown on TikTok for a month because my best friend and decided not to re-sign her lease so that she could move in with me. And this woman has somehow convinced a bunch of people to give her thousands of dollars by lying. So here's the scene. My best friend has been the leaseholder on an apartment for like 3 years, and her roommate moved out at the end of April and found a sublet, EK.
Whether they straight up lied to you intentionally or not is debatable. What isn't debatable is that they very obviously learned which version of honesty got them the most engagement. Nowhere is this clearer than with money. You know the type of creator that I'm talking about. Multiple properties, brand deals stacked on top of brand deals, and yet somehow, some way, the content ends up being about, can you believe how expensive milk has gotten? Meanwhile, they're doing their grocery shopping at Erewhon. My point is this. People will find an inconvenience. They will manufacture a fake, relatable moment out of nothing. Because realistically, telling your audience, I have more money than 99.9% of you, doesn't get you a big, loyal following. Acting like you're one of them does.
I started this 14 years ago when I was literally on food stamps, broke as hell. I had no clue that you could make a dime doing social media. I genuinely started it for the love of it.
That video does not reflect my own true character, my own true thoughts. I come from way, way, way less than what I have now. So I know what it's like to not be able to feed your family, going to bed hungry.
I actually did it myself. Yeah. Nice.
I come from absolutely nothing, very humble beginnings. And I knew from a young age that I wanted to be wealthy and rich and abundant. And I didn't know how I was going to get there. And at a young age, I didn't realize I was doing this, but I was allowing myself to be in the frequency of receiving because I was so open to it because I believed it so deeply.
These people often are followed by blind loyalty, especially if it's someone who is with you at only 5K, right? But seriously, watch what they complain about versus what they demonstrate.
Oh my God.
Don't be, just go.
Okay,
Ciao.
okay.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Ciao. Literally, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Oh, you too. Literally. God bless you all. Hey! Yay! Round of applause. Well, this is the worst restaurant I've been to. Look at the name. In my life. In my life.
Watch the influencer who will show you how they're flying in first class, but then they'll spend the entire caption complaining about how the Wi-Fi wasn't any good. Or the person who films their walk-in closet and makes a big scene about this deal they got on a $40 bag. Meanwhile, every other bag in there is like 5 figures. The wealth isn't hidden, it's clearly on display.
I have a whole shopping list, but I also want to see what's new. My skin has been acting up because of travel, so let's find something that I could trust. I found my Girl 345 mist, my go-to. Because it's a cream mist instead of a regular mist, it's way more hydrating. The ingredients are super gentle, non-irritating, and fungal acne safe. This cream is also so good for acne. Oh, these two are also my go-to. They're so hydrating, super lightweight. I highly recommend these two micellar water. It's so nice. Guys, you guys have to try this micro exfoliant powder.
This is expensive, so I just go with the small one.
I'm so happy with my repurchases. I feel like my skin is already glowing.
What's manufactured is the small little details, the small little moments that they insert next to that to make you feel like you're still watching a person instead of a lifestyle that you'll never touch. The flex and the humility aren't in any kind of tension. They're actually the same performance, just doing 2 jobs at once. And I know I don't need to tell you this by now, but that's not authenticity. It's what's relatable enough to keep you watching without reminding you of the actual gap between their life and yours. I know someone out there is thinking, well, isn't that just code switching? Isn't that just having different sides of yourself? Yes, but that's not the same thing that you're really thinking about. Let me give you an example. At my work, I'm pretty quiet. Most people I work with would probably describe me as pretty reserved and introverted. And if any of them knew that I make YouTube videos, their jaw would hit the floor. I like my job a lot and I don't have any enemies, at least not that I'm aware of. The thing is that I'm just not one of the it people. I don't get some of the jokes that I do get, I just don't find to be that funny. And that's not me throwing shade. We all have a different sense of humor. They don't think I'm funny either. I simply don't have a lot of the same interests, and that's okay. We're just not each other's type. In jobs I've had before, or even with close friends, I'm loud, high energy, playful, very talkative. That's a version of me that my colleagues have never really met. Now, are one of those versions of me fake? No. I didn't invent the loud, talkative version of myself for special effect. That version of me genuinely exists, and it shows up with people who I trust and feel the most comfortable with. I'm just choosing to not put that version of me on display at work because I don't think it's really worth it. It won't click with anyone else. In that context, with that specific group, I would just be looking like some tryhard. Context switching is about what you show. Performance is about what you invent.
The ironic thing about life is that you are a different person to everyone you meet. To some, you're quiet. To others, you never stop talking. Some remember you for your kindness, others for the time you walked away. You are a villain in someone's story, a hero in another's.
I'm allowed, and all of you are allowed, to be selective about which version of you shows up where. What I am not doing is inventing a fake version of myself that exists only on camera or in front of a specific crowd. This is the important question to ask. Does that version exist when no one is watching, whether in person or online? You know what? We've got time. Let's experiment. Let's actually run that test because I guarantee it holds up anywhere you point. Someone stuck in traffic right now singing along to Disney songs while no one else is in the car. They're real. They're just situational. They probably don't start dropping beats in the middle of a board meeting. The manufactured relatable influencer isn't real. That one ceases to exist the second that the camera turns off because it was never actually a version of them. It was just content. Here's one that can get a little more uncomfortable for people to listen to: relationships. You know the couple who's affectionate in every single post.
We get married this year. What else are we gonna have this year?
Everything we desire.
Want to see the cringiest, most coupley thing ever? This is called a love surge. And we do this when one of us has like so much love in our limbs that we can't contain it and feel like we're gonna explode. So Sean is having a love surge right now, and he's gonna wrap around me and shake with the electricity of love until I catch it too and start shaking, and then you explode with a love surge.
You know, those people sit on the same side of the table when they go out to a restaurant. Something about it feels less like love and more like a press release. That's not me saying that the love isn't real. I don't know their relationship. What I'm saying is, watch for the difference in people who are affectionate because they feel like it and people who are affectionate because it's Tuesday and the grid needs a hashtag couple goals post. I will ask again, same test. Would this moment exist if there was no one to show it to? Sometimes yes. Sometimes it's so perfectly staged that the answer is obviously no. And you can feel it even if you can't articulate why. The cringe running down your spine, that feeling you get saying something is a little off here when content is just trying way too hard. That's not cynicism, that's instinct. You've been trained by now enough on performed authenticity to catch it, even when you can't really put your finger on it or explain how. We didn't kill authenticity, we monetized it. And the people who get rewarded, especially right now, aren't the honest ones. They're the ones who play honest the best. The ones who've turned sincerity into a skill that can be rehearsed or can be shot again if you didn't get the first take right. Which connects right back to where this whole thing started. Someone learned that playing a character gets more rewarded than just being a real person. The next time something online feels like it's so real, just ask the question that matters. Would this exist if there wasn't an audience? If the answer is no, it was never authenticity. It was just a really good performance. Thank you so much, as always, for watching my video. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If this resonated with you at all or made you think, give it a like, share, do all the good stuff. Please consider subscribing, and I will see you again in the next video.